some point. It's a much more of a bit white beard, he's like the main bad guy. You can ride on the benefit too. Yeah. Just drip from. Oh yeah.
Hello, my name's Lauren and let's talk about what I've consumed in the first month of 2026, January. This year, rather than tracking all my books on Goodreads because it became a bit of a chore and it's obviously an outdated platform, I am just keeping a note on my phone and writing each book I read a little star rating and a couple of sentences about it. So I'm going to be reading off those 4 books. We're going to talk movies and we're going to talk everything else that's come up. So let's get started. Starting with books, the first book I read and finished in 2026 was The Worst Thing I've Ever Done by Claire Stevens. I gave this a 3 stars. I was really excited to read it from all the online talk about it and, you know, such a relevant topic in today's world of the internet and fast news media. This is what I wrote. Not a happy ending or book, but relatable to the modern internet era. Makes it sound terrible working in a fast-paced entertainment newsroom where you need to generate fickle stories multiple times a day. So I guess that was my takeaway, that I don't want to go work at Mamma Mia or something like that in the newsroom. I just found that it started really good and I was interested and I wanted to know how this problem would resolve, and it just never did. It just kind of when the person went on with her life and it impacted her life dramatically and nothing ever got resolved, which I guess might be realistic to modern life. If you do something bad and it goes viral on the internet, you might never recover from that, or it might always sit with you, but I don't know, it was just lacking something and it just got very negative, with it kind of just getting worse and worse and worse. So the main character didn't really try to redeem herself in any way. Next up, I was really keen to watch The Housemaid movie. Side note, I've really become a movie person in the last year. I never was before that. Anyway, so I wanted to read the book first, so read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I gave it 4 stars and I said it was a thriller that made me angry and the twists were great. Keen to see the movie. I love when a book evokes an emotional response from me, so to make me angry and feel something. I didn't see the twist coming. I had, you know, not given myself any spoilers coming into it and I really enjoyed it. A bit of a heavy book though, so I may read others in the series, but I definitely am needing a light break before I do. Oh, the next book I listened to as an audiobook, and I only found this by browsing my Spotify and it came up, and it's a book called Discontent by Beatriz Serrano. Never heard anything of it. It's translated from Spanish and I am giving this 5 stars. This was so funny. Let me read what I've said. So dryly funny and sarcastic, very relatable to modern life. This main character made me laugh out loud. I love how she plays smart to get her way. Enjoyed the Madrid and advertising settings too. So this is about I think she's in her 30s, living in Madrid, working in advertising and marketing. She's really conned her way to a middle management role, and it just is so dry and sarcastic, a bit nihilistic, you know, the reputation of the modern young person who's disenchanted with life, but she is successful, and the way she kind of plays with that. They go on a work retreat and some scandalous stuff happens, but this main character just gets away with it and you were just laughing alongside her. Honestly, if you're into dry, sarcastic humor, this made me laugh out loud multiple times, and the main character's a bit unhinged, so love that. And the next and last book I've completed this month was The 7 Skins of Esther Wilding by Holly Ringland. And I used to work in a bookshop, and this author came in because she lives on the coast here, and we had the best chat. She's the loveliest woman, and after that I said I'd read her books, and I've never gotten around to it. I've always been meaning to. This was at a market, picked it up for $4. It's in brand new condition, and I am so glad that I actually own this, because what a whimsical book. Honestly, like nothing I've read before. This book not only has a beautiful cover, but is full of whimsy, nature, folklore, and fairy tales, and travels to different countries, so my cup of tea. I gave this a 4.5, and this is what I wrote. Beautiful, magical, whimsical tale, folklore, the natural world, and the sea made me want a mermaid tattoo and to visit the Faroe Islands, which sound magical. I've met and chatted to Holly, and she's so wonderful and friendly. Will read again. Honestly, if you want something to take you out of your head a bit and just kind of have this fun, magical ride, I'd recommend this. It's set across Tasmania, Copenhagen, and the Faroe Islands, and something interesting about this book is she uses the indigenous names for Tasmania and places in Australia, which I haven't really seen before, so that was kind of cool. Essentially, you're following the journey of a missing sister to unpack the clues on her disappearance, and it really delves into Scandinavian fairy tales, especially the role of women and mermaids and sirens and selkies, which are seals that turn into women on land, can walk around, jump back in the sea as a seal. It sounds a bit naff, but it's exploring them in kind of a historical perspective and how these stories shaped the people that live on those islands. Big connection to ocean, big connection to nature. Just a gorgeous book. So loved this. And then I'm not sure if I'll finish it by the end of the month, but I'm currently reading Acid for the Children, which is Flea's autobiography. He's from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and this is way more poetic than I thought. He's a good writer, and essentially just telling about his childhood and the antiques he got up to, and so far is entertaining, but I'll keep you posted. Now let's talk movies, because I've watched a few of these this month. The one I loved most of all was People We Meet on Vacation, so much so I watched it twice in about 3 days. What a fun rom-com. Honestly, just feel good, easy watching, great costumes, great settings as they travel all around the world. Just a fun love story that we needed. Loved the book by Emily Henry and loved the movie. So if you haven't seen it and you just want a feel-good movie, recommend. Even the guys love it, and that is confirmed by some people I know. Of course, I then saw The Housemaid, and this was more gory in the movie than the book. They changed a couple of things. The character of Enzo isn't built up as well, so that was a shame because I liked him in the book. Amanda Seyfried, such a good actress. Sydney Sweeney, yeah, a good thriller. It had everyone grimacing, making sounds, clapping in the cinema, so I love when something gets an emotive reaction from the audience. Something else I was interested in this month was the movie Sinners. Of course, after getting its 16 Oscar nominations, I had to check it out, and this was bizarre. I have been talking about this to people and I still don't know how I feel about it. I kind of understand the Oscars for special effects, makeup, Best Picture, I don't know. I feel like the first 3/4 of the movie is this big historical fiction build up, and then it's almost like the director let his son take over, and his son was like, here comes the vampires, and then they battle the vampires and it's over really quickly. I feel like it was almost like 2 parts of a movie that didn't quite connect, and neither one was finished or developed enough. So a bit strange. I guess I get why Michael B. Jordan is nominated, because he does play identical twins, so you know, there's an art in being able to do that. Weird movie though. And then I've started Sentimental Value, which is a Norwegian film about family. I haven't finished it, so I can't comment on it yet, but one thing I'm really impressed by. The movie is about 3/4 Norwegian and 1/4 English. There's subtitles, of course, but Stellan Skarsgård is in it. And I was watching thinking, he's not Norwegian. Googled it, he's Swedish. He is speaking Swedish, and everyone else is speaking Norwegian. And they just understand each other because the languages are quite similar. And I find that so cool that he can be in a film and not even be speaking the same language. Anyway, I'm keen to check that out. I feel like it's one of those slower paced movies that you have to sit. You obviously have to focus because you have to read the subtitles, so no scrolling watching this one, but we'll update you on that one too. And now let's chat other things. So first of all, I need to address the elephant in the room. Road is coming to Mecca. Recently I've gotten really into beauty and skincare and that kind of world. Makeup. I've bought more makeup in the past year than I did in the previous 10, I reckon. And I'm just so excited to try it. I love skincare focused makeup, which is Road's whole thing. I'm keen to try the Glazing Milk, get myself a peptide lip tint. I'm umming and ahhing on the blush because I really don't need it and none of the colors are jumping out to me. Should I get tan line? I don't know. Let me know. And I'm also just enjoying all the dialogue online about that. The thing I have been loving, these Coles Mango Sorbet Icy Poles. It's only $6 for the box. They're mini, so it's just like a little burst of ice cream, nothing too big. I honestly eat these most day of the week and they are so refreshing in the hot summer. The other thing is this article, and I signed up for a New York The Cut subscription this month. I'll have to find it and link it here, but it is an article about how the veganism movement peaked so hard about a decade or so ago, and ever since then has been declining. I'm not sure if that's factually correct, but a lot of vegan restaurants in New York that were once buzz spots were slowing down, and it kind of was asking the question, how do we go from caring so much about the planet and our health, and veganism was huge and these companies like Beyond Meat were huge, to a run of non-stop closures and people going back to meat eating. It addresses the point that times have changed and a lot of things in the world do feel quite hopeless right now. So, you know, why almost like a sense of it's pointless to care about ourselves in the world that much when everything's going to shit. So that's one thing. It also talks about how plant milks have infiltrated the market so strongly. Every coffee shop has them, whereas vegan restaurants and options are declining. And I thought that was a really interesting point, and I was kind of talking about it with my friend and they said, well, people can have negative impacts from having dairy, whereas not necessarily people have the same immediate side effects from eating red meat. So there's that incentive. I just thought it was a really interesting explanation, and if you were on Instagram as part of the vegan movement in 2014-ish, a really interesting breakdown if you're interested, and you can read a couple of articles a month free without subscribing. And another thing I want to talk about, a little bit controversial, let me get it. I'm not really sure how I feel about dupe culture because I don't earn a lot of money, so sometimes those things are the only things I can afford. Anyway, I was walking through Woolies and they had this marked down to $8 and I bought it as I needed a lip gloss, and it is the Emco Beauty Golden Glow Lip Oil, which is a dupe of the Gizu one, and the Gizu one is like 40 something dollars. This was $8 and it actually tastes delicious. I kind of had low hopes, and when I bought it I was like, ugh, but incredible. It tastes delicious. I love putting it on. It lasts a while. And I also did another merit order which got lost, ended up coming like 2 months later. So this is their, I think it's called Shade Stick Glee in the colour Ombre, I think. Anywho, their version of a lip oil, beautiful colour. It doesn't have a lot of colour when you put it on, but this also feels divine and lasts a long time on your lips. So I am finally getting into glosses, which I wasn't for a long time. I would just put lip balm on, but these are on high rotation at the moment, so I'm always having glossy lips. I think that's all I'm going to talk about for now. Of course, Harry Styles has released his new song, which is growing on me a lot. Super keen. Him and Arctic Monkeys are putting out an album pretty much for my birthday, so I appreciate that so much. I'm really looking forward to February and having a bit more time to make some videos and getting away on a few little trips, which will be super cool. So stay tuned. Let me know if you like this video and I can make a what I consumed for other months in the year. Thanks for watching and I hope you have a lovely February.